Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Norn9 Var Commons. And we are still on Koharu and Senri's path. We're only on the second video here, so we haven't gotten all that far. We just cooked something delicious and sweet and yummy for him, but Nanami smelled it and I think she's gonna want some. Hopefully we'll be able to save some for Senri still. We shall see. So you can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. I smell something good.
What, are you a dog tracking a scent?
Hi, Nanami. We were just baking some sweets. You can try some as soon as they're done if you'd like.
Definitely.
Oh, but I only made enough for Mr. Senri, so there isn't much left for others.
These are for Ichinose.
Quit staring at me. Oi, you there. Don't you dare go telling him I helped you make these.
Why not?
What's it matter? Just don't.
But Mr. Senri would probably want to know who made these, and it wouldn't be very truthful if I said I did it by myself. Besides, if he thinks these are yummy, I'm sure he would want to come by and thank you.
No, he probably wouldn't eat them because he'd be saying that, like, Akito's trying to poison him.
So, why shouldn't I tell him? Why is Mr. Akito so upset about this? He was just doing something very nice for someone.
Shukuri is bashful. He's probably just too shy to want to admit that he was being nice.
Oh, I see.
Damn it.
Then it would be best for Mr. Akito if we kept his help secret. I understand now. I never talked with him much before. He's a very nice, considerate person. Oh, but then what about the lunch incident the other day? The mushroom meatloaf. Mr. Senri said Mr. Akito did it to pick on him, but given how nice Mr. Akito is, I'm not sure he would deliberately do that. Even if I asked him about it, I don't think he would want to answer, and Mr. Senri would just insist it was bullying. I'll have to figure it out by myself. I didn't make these sweets by myself, but they look like they turned out really well. Mr. Senri. Oh, could he be asleep?
Oh, thank God you're finally back.
Huh? You're awake.
Of course I am. I'm not such an inconsiderate, impolite lout that I'd fall asleep in someone else's room. Of course, you are brazen enough to invite someone over and then promptly abandon them for hours without saying anything. Way to be appreciative, Senri.
That isn't a compliment, is it?
If it in any way sounded like one, then you're not only brazen, but you're also brainless. Oh.
I'm sorry. Oh, but look, I told you I would bring you something yummy, and I did. I held out the plate carefully stacked with sweets. The smell of fresh-baked cookies wafted through the room. Would you like to have some?
They're good.
Really?
They taste different from normal cookies.
Oh, you can tell. We added a bit of a secret ingredient. It's
peaches.
Huh? How did you know? I only put a very little bit.
They have a different kind of sweetness than sugar. It brings back memories, really.
It does. Now that I think about it, somebody did say once that Mr. Akito's cooking tasted like something someone's mother would make. Even his baked sweets have a kind, gentle taste. Mr. Akito is a really, really good cook. It might have just been my imagination, but Mr. Senri's eyes, which were usually so harsh and cautious, looked softer around the edges. He didn't say much, but he kept eating the cookies, so I assumed that he must like them. I was only able to make those because you waited here for me so patiently, Mr. Senri. I understand what it's like to be afraid of people. Just being told not to be scared isn't enough to make the fear go away. But I can't just ignore him either. That would be wrong. I think what's best is to teach him that it can be fun to be with people. That's something that I just learned by myself not long ago. Because I knew that you were waiting for me, I didn't give up. I told myself I had to try my best and make something yummy for you. I think people can only really expect things out of others when there's trust between them. Without trust, you can't really know what to expect. Oh, though I did tell you that you should expect something good from me, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
You demanded I stay here, and then you took off and abandoned me. That was really rude, you know. I'm sorry about that, but Mr. Senri, I'm going to bake these again someday. You can trust that I will do that. I was like that at first, you know. That sort of thing did make me want to trust people. After that, Mr. Senri didn't say anything more. He quietly ate cookies until they were gone. But he didn't need to say anything for me to be able to tell that he was happy. All I had to do was look at the empty plate. Knowing that he was satisfied with the present I bought him made me very happy. If I made these again someday, I'm sure he would want to eat them again. Mr. Senri.
Oh, he fell asleep.
His breathing was quiet and even. He must have finally hit the limits of his endurance. I wish I could move him onto the bed, but I don't think I could pick him up. I can at least cover him with a blanket. Mr. Masamune was right. Yuiga did go too far if he tired Mr. Senri out this badly. Still, I'm glad I got to see his sleeping face. Oh, but he'd probably be mad at me if I told him that. I was pretty tired myself. I had run around and done a lot, and thought about a lot that day too. I'm starting to feel sleepy too. I lay down on the edge of the bed. It was hard to imagine that peaceful sleeping face twisting in anger. I saw all sorts of different expressions on his face today, come to think of it. I hope I can see him smile someday.
Besides, once we reach our destination, we'll all be dispatched to different countries. This is the only time we'll get to spend together. We've got to make the most of what time we have. You'll be missing out on so much if you spend all your time holed up in your room.
One day soon, we'll all be enemies. I'm having a lot of fun spending time with everyone. I baked treats for someone for the first time. People even call me by my name. I'm very glad that I came here, but someday this journey has to end. Thinking about that makes me feel really lonely. It actually feels much worse than when I was alone before. I wonder why. Maybe being on this ship has made me become greedy. Yes, it did. You don't have to belabor the obvious. Huh? Oh, did I wake you up? Anyone would wake up with someone muttering in their ear. What did you think you were doing, singing me a lullaby? I'm sorry. Is it really that unsurprising that I would feel like I'm turning greedy because I want to be around others? Because there's heaven, hell exists. Because hell exists, there's a heaven. Simple as that. You can't be lonely if you don't know what it's like to be around others in the first place. People don't wish for things that they don't know exist after all. All that stuff is terrible. It sucks. I wouldn't ever want it if I just didn't know about it. Mr. Senri sounded very vehement saying that. Being around other people is terrible? Can that really be true?
Okay, I'm supposed to agree with Senri here. No need to say, really.
Being with others can lead to feelings of loneliness. I think you're right when you say that, Mr. Senri. But right now I'm very happy. Having you here next to me feels warm and nice. You just being with me teaches me that.
Oh.
That's not my problem. Will you make these again sometime? Of course! Mr. Akito, Mr. Senri likes the cookies you helped me make. I'll make them so many times I won't ever be able to forget how to do it. Before we realized it, it was late afternoon. Without the lights on, the room was getting dark inside. Part of me knew I should get up soon, but another part of me wanted to just keep napping away. It's such a bad habit wanting to fall asleep just because I'm somewhere dark. Still half asleep, I turned over and started to shuffle towards the edge of the bed, when my forehead bumped against something. Sleepily, I realized that must be Mr. Senri's back. A soft bed, toasty covers. I could feel Mr. Senri's warmth through them. That means Mr. Senri can feel my warmth through the covers too, right? Does he understand that I'm telling him he's not alone anymore?
What's going on? Is he scared? Is he like petrified with her touching him? Sadness is a key word. That's horrible.
can't believe myself.
Hmm. It's light outside. Is it morning already? What happened? Oh, that's right. Yesterday afternoon I took a nap. I guess I just slept until morning.
That is a long nap.
Mr. Senri must have left a long time ago. But he hadn't. Mr. Senri was still here, sitting with his knees to his chin in a corner.
Why?
This wasn't supposed to happen. Mr. Senri.
I know I was exhausted, but for me to fall sound asleep in someone else's room, and a girl's room at that. I can't believe it.
Poor Mr. Senri. It looks like he feels awful. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I slept all the way until morning, forgetting he was here. Are you okay, Mr. Senri? I'm very sorry. It looks like I fell completely asleep yesterday afternoon.
Well, it's your room. Of course you're going to fall asleep in here.
Yes, but I wasn't awake to get dinner for you. Oh, and you must have missed your bath, too. I'm really very sorry.
That isn't what's bothering me. I was in the same bed as a girl. Not only that, I slept next to a girl all night long.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Was it that unpleasant?
No, that's not the problem either.
I'm really sorry, because I share rooms with Nanami and Mikoto all the time. I'm used to having someone sleep next to me. It would be unpleasant to have to sleep next to someone unexpectedly. I'm so sorry, Mr. Senri. I'm sorry that I keep doing things that you dislike and make you uncomfortable.
No, that's not it. I didn't find that intolerable. It's just, when you came back, I thought I wouldn't be able to sleep. But it was so warm and, comfortable that I just kinda dozed off.
Mr. Senri.
But this is still all your fault.
Right, I'm very sorry.
No, I'm sorry. It isn't. Anyway, we will both be in big trouble if we miss breakfast too. We should go.
Okay.
Uh-oh, what if there's someone outside? No, even if there is, it'd be worse if I stayed in here.
I don't see anyone.
Phew. Okay, let's go then.
Oh, hey, you two.
Yipes! Toya!
Wait, did you both just come out of that route?
She overslept. Yeah, I went to wake her up for breakfast, that's all.
You? Deliberately going to see another person?
Oh.
Wow, you're really maturing, Senri. And here I was worried that Kakeru's methods were a bit too rough on you. Anyway, it's good that you two are friendlier, but you shouldn't skip meals, understood?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. It wasn't your fault, but that was the only excuse I could come up with on the spot.
No, that's okay. I don't mind at all.
Oh.
Well, hey there. Good morning, you two.
Good morning.
Morning, Senri.
I despise morning people. Must you be that chipper, or are you deliberately attempting to exhaust me with your obnoxious cheer?
Oh no, he's antagonizing Yuika again.
What?
What's going on? Yuika seems to be in a particularly good mood this morning. Or is that just my imagination?
Yikes! Your gloom cloud looks especially dark this morning, Senri. You okay, man?
No, I'm not okay. But if you go away and leave me alone this instant, I might feel just a teeny bit better.
You probably aren't eating enough. Seriously, you never do. Here, have some more.
Stop that.
Oh dear, I hope Mr. Senri is okay.
Sheesh, must you all bicker every morning? I would like to have one peaceful breakfast aboard the ship someday. However, I was worried about. When I heard you had not left your room since yesterday, I was not sure what had happened.
Oh, I'm sorry. I, kinda took a nap and then fell straight asleep.
So Kakeru was correct.
He was?
Yeah, he said you were tired and had gone to bed early, so we shouldn't wake you up. That's why we didn't go check on you.
Yuiga did.
Did Kakeru think Senri was getting some? Was keeping them from being disturbed?
Yuiga, don't tell me you...
Hey, whoa. No jumping up at the table in the middle of a meal. It's quite impolite, Senri. It's alright, Yuiga. No need to be so formal. Senri's growing up, you know. I do think something happened. Yeah, that's true. Even just a few days ago, you couldn't get him to go near anybody for anything. But now... Oh, you mean the partner thing? Yeah, I have to say it does look like it's working out exceptionally well for the two of them. Yup, they haven't even been together that long, and already they're really... close.
Enough, both of you! Kakeru, could you at least stop tormenting Senri for a single meal?
Tormenting? We were just having a regular conversation, Mikoto. Right, Masamune? Right. By the way, what's wrong, Senri? You look pale. Are you still feeling under the weather?
Mr. Senri?
Oh, right. I'll be in your room tonight. It's our turn to double up.
Oh, that's right. Come on over anytime.
Man, I feel so terrible leaving the girls with that cramped room situation. It must be a nuisance to keep switching around like that. If you want, you can come and stay in my room. My bed is big enough for 2, no, 3 people. Are you including yourself in that number? It was a joke. We can't do much about the room situation, but we can at least buy separate beds. We'll do that next time we touch down.
Thanks.
Okay, now that breakfast is finished, what am I going to do today? I think he is feeling a little better than he did yesterday. I still think what I did yesterday wound up being a very pleasant experience for poor Mr. Senri. There's something you'd like me to help you with? Sure. Mr. Senri, the Hyokos have asked me to come help them with something. Would you wait here for me, please?
Oh, fine. But don't take long. Come back right away, okay?
I will. The chore in question was getting an item down off a particularly tall shelf. It took me a lot longer than I expected to figure out what it was the Hyokos were looking for, but after a while I finally managed to find the correct thing. As thanks, the Hyokos promised that they would get the baths ready earlier than usual tonight. Considering I completely missed my chance at a bath last night, having an earlier one tonight was a happy proposition. I thanked the Hyokos and hurried back to my room. I'm sure Mr. Senri will be happy to hear that too. I'd better hurry. It took much longer than I expected to help the Hyokos. I've left poor Mr. Senri waiting all by himself this whole time. Oh, Mr. Senri, I'm sorry,
It's not like I was staying in that girl's room because I wanted to. It just turned out that way.
She allows you to sleep in her room, and now you're calling her that girl? That's rude.
It's your fault. It only happened because you kept insisting on obliterating my peace and quiet.
Hey, Akito busted your door down, not me.
Anyway, please don't tell anyone what you saw yesterday.
Oh, and what do I get for doing what you ask?
What do you expect me to do?
Good question.
Mr. Senri! Oh, I finished helping the Hyokos with their request. I'm sorry I interrupted your conversation.
Nah, it's okay. We were just finishing up anyway.
Oh dear, I did it again. I made Mr. Senri all upset. I told him about how the Hyokos promised to have the baths ready early, but that news did nothing to erase the unhappy frown on his face. Maybe it's best if we go back to my room. It was going well yesterday until we both fell asleep. Shall we go back to my room? I promise I won't take a nap and sleep until tomorrow morning this time. Oh, but today Nanami will be joining us. I'm sure it will be even more fun with all three of us.
And then have even more misunderstandings from Kakeru. No, I don't want to. I can't stay in a room with somebody else there.
Oh, but Nanami is a super nice person.
No, I said I don't want to, so I'm not going to. It's not like I was staying in that girl's room because I wanted to. It just turned out that way.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Senri didn't like visiting with me in my room. Is there somewhere else you would like to go?
The water.
Oh, that's a great idea. I like that place too. It's so nice and pretty and cool.
I like it because nobody will come after me when I'm in the water.
Oh, that makes sense. Mr. Senri took off his shoes, rolled up his pant legs, and dangled his feet in the water. He must really like the water. Oh yeah, when we all fell into the spring from the second floor, Mr. Senri looked like he was having a lot of fun swimming in it. Do you like to swim, Mr. Senri?
I guess you could say that. Why do you think it is? Why does Yuiga seem so damn determined to drag me out of my room all the time? Why would he bother himself with me in the first place? He could just leave me alone.
Well...
You said once that it's because he gets worried about me when I'm alone. But if that's the case, wouldn't it be easier for him to pretend that I don't exist?
Why did Yuiga go out of his way to pay attention to Mr. Senri? As someone observing from the outside, I didn't know. At first I thought it was because he was just a nice person, but now I can't help but think there's another reason for it. If he really was being nice, he wouldn't keep pushing Mr. Senri when it's obvious he wasn't enjoying it. There was a big splash next to me, and water flew everywhere. Mr. Senri had jumped in. Eee! Oh my gosh! Mr. Senri, are you okay?
These outfits are made so they don't get heavy when wet. I can swim in them just fine.
Really?
Aren't you going to get in?
But I don't know how to swim. Mr. Senri didn't say anything. He just quietly slipped underwater. I made sweets for him, and he looked like he enjoyed them. We slept in the same bed. After all that, I thought we had gotten to be at least a little better friends. But at this moment, it didn't really seem like we had.
It's not like... How many times am I gonna show this scene? It's not like I was staying in that girl's room because I wanted to. It just turned out that way.
I guess feeling lonely now would make me the same as the person in the example Mr. Senri gave before.
People invent expectations about someone without really knowing them, and when they don't live up to those expectations, they get mad.
No, I wasn't going to do that. I don't want to get mad at him for not doing what I expected. But not being able to go where he does is making me feel awfully lonely.
The Hyokos say the bath is ready.
Yuiga?
He's still in the water?
Yeah. He says it's because nobody can come after him while he's in there. It's typical of him.
Hey, Koharu, did you know that there are plants that grow underwater? Oh no. It would be a piece of cake to wrap some algae around his ankles while he was down there and...
No, you mustn't. That would be mean.
I'm kidding. Even I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, that's good.
At least while you were still watching, anyway.
Huh? Did you say something?
Nope.
Can I talk with you about something, Yuiga?
Let me guess. It's about getting the door to Senri's room fixed.
Oh my gosh! How do you know what I'm going to say before I even say it?
Because you're really easy to read.
Really? Yuiga is so smart. Since he already knows I was going to ask, that should make this easier. Yuika, I thought about it, and I really think Mr. Senri's room should have a door. It's very difficult to relax if there isn't a door there, and Mr. Senri's room is a very important place to him. Are you sure there isn't anything we can do to fix it for him?
Nope.
Oh, why not?
Because as soon as we give him a door, he'll lock it and never come back out again. Before it got broken, he stayed shut in for days on end. He only started getting a little better after I started forcibly prying him out of there. We're finally making some progress with him, but if he has a door, we'd be back to square one. He'll revert to his old antisocial self in an instant. Would you be okay with that?
Yuika spoke in his usual kind voice, and what he said made logical sense, but something about it felt a little off.
Yes, it would be.
Yes, I would be okay with that. I want to be friends with Mr. Senri, and I know it will take time. That's fine. I'll go as slow and easy as he's comfortable with. I wasn't just going to leave him alone. I didn't think it was good for him to stay cooped up in his room forever and ever, but Mr. Senri should be the one to decide where he'd start and where the finish line was, not me. If that is where Mr. Senri decides the starting line is, then that's where I'll start too.
I'd better get going. I just stopped by to pass along the Hyoko's message anyway.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for letting us know. Mr. Senri! At some point, Mr. Senri had poked his head back up out of the water. He was completely soaking wet and looked cold, but his expression seemed brighter than usual.
You didn't have to bother with any of that, you know. Saying anything to him is pointless. People like him are already convinced they're right all the time. They don't actually pay any attention to a thing anyone else says.
Is that really true? I can't help but think that Yuika has his own good reasons for doing what he does. Didn't he say before that he has to make himself into the bad guy so that he can get Mr. Senri to come out of his room? If he's only worried about being nice, I doubt he would go that far to get Mr. Senri to come out. On the other hand, if he wasn't worried about Mr. Senri at all, I doubt he would care if he stayed in his room forever and ever. And if he really was just picking on him, why would he talk to me so thoughtfully about him? Mr. Senri, did you first meet Yuika when you came aboard, or did you know him before?
When I came aboard, I now know the 16 years I lived without ever knowing he existed were the happiest days of my life. Having to know him, or worse yet, having to be around him, will make the entire rest of my life a living hell.
Yet he's smiling about it.
Why do you ask?
Oh, I was just trying to think of why he pays so much attention to you all the time.
Ugh, that again. Do you think you'll find an answer?
I wonder if he's related to you somehow.
What are you talking about? Us? Related? No, impossible. I'm sure if I was born into a family full of sadistic monsters, I'd remember.
Monsters?
Besides, I don't have any siblings in the first place. I'm an only child. Sheesh, of all the stupid reasons, I can't believe that's what you came up with.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that couldn't be. I mean, Mr. Senri and Yuika don't resemble each other at all.
Why is the Hyoko made sad? Mad?
Oh, right, the baths.
Oh, hurry to the baths.
Mr. Senri, we need to get ready for our baths, and you should get out before you catch cold.
I know. Sheesh, you don't have to nag me over every little thing.
After we each had our own separate baths, Mr. Senri went back to his room. He didn't come back out. At least not until dinner time, when Yuika went inside and dragged him all the way to the dining hall by the scruff of his neck.
Ooh, what's a pretty moon.
And so another day comes to an end. I wonder how long it will be before we reach our destination. I hope I can somehow become friends with Mr. Senri before our journey ends. Once we reached where it was we were going, we would all be dispatched to different countries. That would spell the end of our time together. We would no longer be able to hang out together and chat with each other. I don't want to get sent away. Not after I finally get to meet everyone. Not now that I'm finally not alone anymore. I want to make friends with everyone here. Mr. Mr. Senri especially before it's all over. A sense of urgency was growing inside of me. I mourned the passing of each day as a day lost. Yet, I couldn't help but look forward to tomorrow, when I would get to see everyone again. Good morning, Mr. Senri.
Another morning person? Do you always have so much extra energy?
Nope, I'm just hungry. I can't wait to eat breakfast.
Well, I can. You can have mine if you want. I'm still digesting last night's dinner. I haven't recovered from last night either, yet I already have to go deal with Yuiga, which will probably exhaust me. It's a vicious cycle.
Oh, it looks like everyone is here already. Wait a minute. Where's Yuiga? I don't see him. He's usually the first one to say hello every morning.
Oi, where the crap is everyone? Everyone on a diet? Because if you think you can walk into breakfast late and get food, you're wrong.
I don't see Koharu, nor Masamune either. It's unusual for those two to oversleep.
I'll go check on them. Mr. Masamune, it's Koharu. Are you in?
Hold on a minute. What's wrong? Is something the matter?
No, I'm fine. But, it's breakfast time, and we didn't see you or Yuiga down in the dining hall.
What? It's already breakfast time? Sorry, I was looking after Kakeru. Seems he's gotten sick.
Oh no! Is he going to be alright?
I took him to the Hyoko for a checkup, but it looks like he's caught something nasty. He's got a really high fever.
Oh no!
I'll handle taking care of him. Could you let everyone else know to stay clear until I can confirm he's over it?
Huh? Why?
The ship is big, but it's still an enclosed area. If he's contagious, we would have a mini epidemic on our hands.
I guess that would be bad if everyone got sick all at the same time. Is there anything I can do to help?
Nah, I'll take care of him. Oh wait, someone's going to have to cover his field work.
Oh, the fields.
With both Yuiga and myself occupied, that'll leave just you and Senri to do it all. It can be pretty intense physical labor. Get some of the others to help you guys out.
Do you really think we should?
Yeah, how about you ask Akito? He's the strong and fit type, he should help. Well, do you think you can handle it?
I've already written down in my new notebook that field work has to be done every day. It will probably be really hard and tiring, but I'm sure we can do it. Yes, sir. Of course we can. Just leave it to us.
Great, thanks. I'll let you know if Kakeru's condition changes.
Mr. Senri, have you finished your breakfast already?
No way. I eat very slowly and deliberately, you know. I was just concerned because you were taking so long to return.
He's getting attached.
Oh, I see. You were worried about Mr. Masamune and Yuiga?
No, of course not. Why would I care about them? I was only worried about you. Wait, no. What am I saying? Just forget what I just said. I didn't mean it. Really, erase everything I just said.
Okay.
Sheesh. Anyway, what are those two good-for-nothings up to? They always get on my case about waking up one time and not missing meals, but what are those two doing now, skipping breakfast?
Yuiga has caught a bad cold.
What? Him? Sick?
Yes, he has a really high fever.
But this is Yuiga. Are you sure it's just a cold, not something worse? Like some sort of flesh-eating plague? Or maybe it's a new lethal disease that will go on to kill millions of innocent people?
Oh no! Do you really think he caught something that terrible? We don't have time to worry about who will do the field work. I had to go back to Mr. Masamune and warn him.
And that was a joke. Itoya says he caught a cold, and that's probably all it is.
A joke? Phew, thank goodness.
But never mind that. What were you saying about the field work? Don't tell me they dumped all those chores on us.
Oh, no. Mr. Masamune didn't do that.
Phew.
But since both he and Yuiga are occupied, we have to do their work too.
So they did dump it all on us. They expect just the two of us to handle the entire field ourselves? Impossible. Totally impossible. We ought to ask some of the others to come and help us out. That would be easiest.
But everyone else has their own chores to do. The fields are supposed to be our responsibility. I know it will be a lot harder than usual, but I think we should at least try. Maybe we can do it all ourselves. Let's do it all perfectly, all by ourselves, and then we can go surprise Yuiga and Mr. Masamune.
Personally, I think making sure the crops don't die is a higher priority than giving those two a nice surprise.
Well, yeah, that's true. Mr. Senri is right. The fields are very important to everyone. We don't take care of them just for ourselves. Everyone needs the food grown there to eat.
Whatever. Just hurry up and get back to the dining hall or you'll miss breakfast entirely.
Okay.
Alright, and we're going to end this video there. So I hope to see you in my next video, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.